Welcome back to the Four Podmen, the wrestling podcast we bring you each and every week on the Dynamo Podcast Network. Today we are continuing our look back series where we look back at iconic matches in the history of WWE. But today we thought we'd change it up a little bit, where we would look back at a match because it's SummerSlam week, the biggest party of the summer, of course, and we would take a look back at kind of a fun match where we go back to SummerSlam 2005. Hulk Hogan versus Shawn Michaels. Eddie, how are you doing? Eddie joining me today on the show. How are we, Eddie?
I'm not too bad. I'm just looking forward to seeing this match again.
Safe to say it's a fun match. It's kind of like if we knew then what we knew now, it'd be even more hilarious because it's just the build up to the match was unbelievable, and the Larry King skits with Michaels taking off Hogan and all, and just overemphasizing everything. It's just to me, it seemed like a fun match and a perfect match to do this week. Not necessarily iconic, but probably iconic in the history of SummerSlam in terms of Shawn Michaels and the antics that he gets up to in this and stuff like that, you know. So just an all-round really enjoyable match. Nothing too majorly iconic about it, apart from Shawn's overselling of everything, which people will know from watching the match in the past. But look, we'll get on and watch the match and enjoy it. It is SummerSlam week, so it's always good to watch one of these fun matches as opposed to some of the more serious stuff. So when you're ready to go, let's get into this match.
Exactly. I'm ready when you are.
Yeah, I'll be with you,
We've got the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, coming in and doing what he does best, posing to the crowd.
Yeah, this is what he does.
Thanking the good Lord. Certainly knows how to make an entrance. He's got enough fire going on.
Yeah, he doesn't do things by halves. Sure, he doesn't.
Oh no. Well, you have to remember this guy is now into his 20th year of actually being in professional wrestling, and he hasn't really aged that badly at all.
Yeah, he kind of like, what way would you say it? He kind of always looked ancient, didn't he? Like the only time I seen him fresh faced really was when he was in the Rockers, and then after that, the whole toil, let's say, of personal life and partying caught up with him pretty quick, you know. I have to say, Lillian is looking stunning tonight, as always.
Pity she's gone. She's. I think I actually prefer Shawn Michaels as a heel.
Just bring your volume down a little bit there, will you? Your volume is coming through on the video.
Yeah, no problem.
Just bring it down slightly. That's it. Well, he was kind of even though this was kind of a fun match, it was kind of heelish in a way, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was very heelish, but like Shawn Michaels, my God, he made me laugh through those promos. Brother.
Yeah, he was so good at it. He looks in great condition as well.
Here we go. Here comes the legend.
It's great the way Shawn looks out at the crowd, just teasing the fans, all with the Hulk signs and stuff like that, you know. It's hilarious.
I have to laugh because one of the Hulk signs has Hogan without a few teeth on it. And it just says, Shawn's gonna knock your teeth out.
Yeah. It's clearly a Shawn Michaels sign then.
Oh, defo. And as we see right now, Hogan has to outdo Shawn with his entrance with the giant American flag.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just love the iconic music, real American. I don't know why it just seems to really suit him better.
Well, it's iconic, isn't it? Really, in terms of Hogan, isn't it? Like, I mean, it's like everyone knows the song. You don't even have to be a wrestling fan to know Real American. You know, everyone knows Real American. You know.
Exactly. Like Shawn's already in the ring taking the piss by doing a shovel kind of stuff in the ring.
Yeah, it's typical Shawn, isn't it? Look, yeah,
I think Hogan must have been his, I'd say probably going into his mid 50s by now.
tell you, both men are in terrific shape.
I'll give Hogan this. He, out of all the legends, he's actually really worked hard in the gym.
Yeah, it's fair to say as well. It's very much a kind of a 50-50 crowd, isn't it? A lot of Hogan signs out there in the crowd. You can see, you know.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of Hogan fans out there,
Mm.
but like
And even from the
I'd say,
younger fan base are holding a lot of Hogan signs, you know.
well, I think the younger fan base got with Hogan as soon as he got NWO and he became cool again. But now
Mm.
he's back in his red and yellow. It's just like it just doesn't seem to have changed at all.
Doesn't like,
Shawn's at the rolling outside the ring, a kind of real heel thing, and now he's just creeping up on Hogan.
yeah.
So it's like you wouldn't think it's just like Shawn is desperate to just get that one big win. And this is probably, it probably looks like it's one of his biggest matches for SummerSlam.
Mm. Gonna get the lock up here now, is it? That's gas. Shawn has to jump up to get him in a side headlock because Hogan's
Hogan
so tall.
this time was those god awful. They both look incredible.
Yeah. Hogan's a massive man compared to Shawn, isn't he? Shawn
Oh,
overselling the
yeah.
shoulder block.
Here we go. Circling the ring.
He did two flips there off that shoulder block. It's hilarious. And out of the ring, like. And then it's amazing the way he oversells his anger and everything, isn't it? Like, it's just hilarious. Like,
Hogan looks like he's soaking on lemons.
yeah,
And now he's kind of getting that, like, let's get it on.
yeah.
Big lockup. And of course, Hogan's outpowered Shawn.
Yeah.
Here we go again, another collar and elbow. And now it's like Hogan's outpowering him all the time.
Shawn whipped into the ropes and he tried. I think he tried to do that flare bump where you go over the rope, but he just pancaked himself on top of the turnbuckle. Now he's overselling everything. Oh Lord!
Exactly.
Hogan with a closed fist puts him down. Shawn just bouncing on the ropes like it's
Like,
just.
like Shawn's trying to look all serious, but like you just can't
He just,
stop.
he just rammed his head into the turnbuckle there and he
And
sprang back
smiling
again.
like the headlock.
Good Lord.
Like Shawn is selling this headlock to beat the band, and Hogan's just laying in the arms, just like, oh, you know what? Shawn is just tumbling. He's end up going right outside the ring, and he's majorly pissed off.
That's the double tumble. Do you see that? He's just overselling again. There was no reason to even go outside the ring. He takes a double tumble.
Exactly, like, fuck.
Do you know the funny thing about this? The funny thing about this is when I actually watched this live, I actually wasn't in tune as much with Shawn's overselling until later on when I went back and I looked at it again and again. It's just like the overselling is ridiculous.
Like, Shawn, he's absolutely funny to watch. Like, there's real good comedy moments watching the lead up and in the match. And now he's just chopping away. Hogan's like, but he's going all, yeah, just being thrown onto the top rope, and Hogan's booting away like a mad joke.
Did you see that bump? See the bump up onto the turnbuckle? And then he's just bouncing them on the ropes. Like the overselling is ridiculous. I wonder in the match, I wonder did Hogan realise what he was at, what Michaels was at in the match?
I'd say Hogan didn't really fucking have a clue what was going on. Yeah. But like Hogan's just kind of bouncing off the top turnbuckle, and Shawn's just sounding like fuck. And he's actually giving a poke in the eye. Back with the chops. Solid punch to the face. And back chops. Hogan's against the ropes, and now Hogan's turning it over. Back and close. He's kind of doing at least 3 or 4 flips. Like, he's really fucking overselling this shit. Like, Hogan looks like he's clueless to what's going on.
I love the way during the match as well, Shawn just keeps on open hand slapping him, which I just think is hilarious.
Exactly. It's just like, you know, I'm going to big slap you out throughout this match and you're going to like it.
It's so like it's mad a match that's like so when you think about it so iconic, you know what I mean? It's like Hulk Hogan, Shawn Michaels and stuff like, and the build up was just hilarious because you know the amount of skits that Michaels did in this was just outstanding. Hogan's hair goes mad, doesn't it, when the bandana goes? It all comes out on the side. He starts to look like Doc Brown nearly out of Back to the Future.
All fluffy and feathered.
Yeah. All 20 strands of it.
My God. Like, this was before Brooke had the idea of putting extensions into the fucking hairdo.
He literally, I'm just looking back. I'm looking at the match here now and I'm taking it in. He actually oversold everything. There's literally nothing he didn't oversell. Hogan puts him into the ring post there. He nearly does a triple pirouette.
Exactly. Now he's big slapping Hogan. And it's like, Hogan's like, what the fuck do you think you're doing? Yeah. Slaps him a second time.
Shawn's probably saying to him, I'll do whatever I want.
Jeez. Now he's doing that Fred going upside down, top toe and buckle.
Yeah.
And now he's like jumping up and slapping Hogan again in the face.
Yeah. Open hands him across the face a couple of times, yeah.
Oh.
Real proper show of disrespect, really, you know, that kind of way. Real heelish there from Shawn, you know. That's
exactly.
a reminder to how that's a reminder to Hogan from Shawn saying, you know, I can be real when I want to. Don't worry about that, old boy.
Man. It's very rare you see Hogan fight on the outside, but when he does, it actually looks like he's doing the best.
Yeah.
You can almost see a little bit of the old NWO Hogan coming out there.
They start gathering momentum, and Shawn just keeps on punching him, keeps on open fisting him, and it's like the match just becomes real messy. You'd wonder if Shawn's after opening him up.
Like the fight to the outside, like back in the early days, you'd never see Hogan do that, but now he's just getting into it. And now he's just gonna, Hogan's just been put into the post. Yeah, Jerry's kind of making it obvious. Hogan's at his temple off the ring post. And now he's being posted again. Shawn's just trying to jumping up and he's punching the fuck out of him. And it's like, I'm going to open you up.
And he does.
I have to say, like, since his return to Red and Yellow, Hogan's actually been opened up quite a few times by the likes of McMahon and stuff. But like he really does a good job in this. Shawn's now kind of like jumping up every fucking time, determined to open Hogan up. And he's got him right against the corner, punching away at the temple. Like he's like a fucking pit bull going through this the whole.
It's very messy, isn't it?
Now it is actually a little bit messy, but like once Shawn gets on top of somebody and just starts punching away at him, he's just like a fucking a little pit bull. And now Hogan's at him. You can see the blood pouring out of Hogan. This is where you got the crowd kind of like really getting into it. They see their fallen hero. And like you'd think it'd be the other way around. The smaller guy's getting pummeled, but it's the giant of a guy who's getting destroyed. Oh, the amount of blood coming out of Hogan. It's just a crimson mass going on right here.
It works perfect for Hogan as well because he doesn't have much hair there. So it flows down into his face, you know, so it always looks a hell of a lot sort of exaggerated more than probably what it is, you know. You probably wipe him down with a towel, he'd be fine. But because there's no hair there to stop it, the blood flows down.
Exactly, like it's almost covering all of his hair at the moment. So like now we're seeing Shawn put a sleeper hold on Hogan.
Mm.
So like if the ear's being cut off, the blood is just gonna pump more. Fuck. Shawn's arm is just covered in Hogan's blood. Shit, man. Shawn is tightening the sleeper hold. And the expression on his face is just like, I'm going to oversell this, but fuck it.
Hogan was always great, wasn't he, at selling those sleeper holds down into the arm checks?
Oh, yeah, he's doing a good job in it, but
Yeah.
like when you see the fact that he's got a sleep, Shawn's got a sleeper on him, and his face is almost completely covered in his own blood. It's like you just don't think Hogan's going to get through the match, but somehow he just pulls it off. And now the crowd is just going bananas. Belly to back suplex. And Shawn is just fucking going. He's overselling the whole thing again. But like, fuck. That's a lot of blood. You wouldn't want to fucking faint at heart looking at all this bloodshed.
Shawn is so good at working up the crowd as well, isn't he? With just little things that he does that irritates them, you know. He's so good from a psychology point of view. You'd wonder, is there anyone better? Like he has it down, you know.
Well, he's been doing this since the age of 18. So like he's got quite a few fucking years experience going on. Like he's learned from pretty much the best in the business at how to sell a match. So now Shawn is on the top rope and he's now about to drop the big elbow and misses. Hogan's just looking at his own blood and he's hulking up. First of the tree, second of the tree, third, and now, oh no. Hogan goes for the boot, misses, and Shawn manages to knock Hogan and the ref down.
We may add, not the first ref that gets knocked down in this match either.
Exactly.
By the end of this match, there's a collection of refs on the mat.
Exactly. So like Shawn's had to keeping up, and now he's had to go. He's going back on the top rope, saying to the crowd, "You want this?" And he's just kind of saying, "You know, I'm not going to do the top rope. I'm going to do the sharpshooter."
Like what? Like just throwing the sharpshooter on Hogan. I don't know.
Here we go. Oh, we nearly fucked the whole thing up.
Yeah. I wonder when he was doing the sharpshooter, was he sending a message to Brett, or was it just that it was like he knows Brett's disdain for Hogan as well, you know what I mean? And maybe it was kind of nearly a tip of the hat to Brett, really, in some ways, you know?
I'd say so because like he's got that kind of arrogance about him. Like,
yeah,
fuck the whole born again Christian guy, but like when he's doing the show and he puts the sharpshooter on, it's like, you know what? Yeah, Brett, I screwed you. We're into our second referee that just waiting for. He's just waiting to see if Hogan's going to tap. So Hogan's trying to pull himself out towards the rope. Here we go. Now he's got the rope.
Watch out for an interesting move coming up here where he goes for a chair shot, and
Yeah.
it has to be probably the worst chair shot in the history of chair shots. He sort of glides it across Hogan rather than down on him.
Yeah, exactly.
It's probably,
Now the
you know,
second
something funny enough. It's probably
referee
Shawn's way of
out.
protecting him. You know.
It looks like it.
Yeah.
Like referee number 2 was just flat out unconscious. Hogan's still wiping blood off his forehead, barely getting up. Shawn's just there on his knees. And it's like Hogan's walking around like a cripple, still trying to get the crowd's reaction. And there we go. Shawn gives the low blow. And Shawn's on the going outside the ring. He's on grabbing the fourth chair of the night. Here we go.
I was just so the length of time it took to arrive at the chair shot and then to see it just slide across. I don't think it even makes contact.
Exactly. Like he's waiting for Hogan to get up so he can whack him one.
And you can see Shawn's disgust in it as well because like he just fires the chair away. Like I have to say the crowd are crazy for it, aren't they?
Oh, now it looks like he gave him a good whack, but like it just grazed him, and Hogan's leg is just shaking like fuck you just got me. Michael's back on the top rope again. Drops the big elbow. And it's like, you know what? This is it. I'm finishing this shit.
You knew by the pin. You knew by the pin, don't you?
Yeah.
He bench presses
He's
him right
just
off.
waking up the second referee. So now he's just setting up for sweet chin music. Here we go. Hogan's getting to his feet. And sweet chin music. Hogan's down. Here we go. 1, 2.
This is the one where he bench presses him off.
This is the big kick out. He's on a nearly throwing Shawn about a foot and a half into the air with that kick out. Hogan's going for the big Hulk up now.
Yeah. Shawn, he nearly ended up in the front row, Shawn, off the kick out.
Exactly. Christ. Hogan's pointing the finger, throwing the punches. Third one, punch. Big boo. Oh my God, how exaggerated was that fucking boo to the face?
Yeah. He's bouncing around.
It was like a fucking ping pong ball just going fucking all over the place.
It's kind of the story of the match, really, isn't it?
Here's the big one, the force leg drop. 1, 2, and it's over. Hogan's just on a winning.
Hogan's mustache, a lovely shade of red.
My God, like his whole, he looks like a fucking.
He looks like
juiced up leprechaun.
He looks like the Wolfpack sprayed him. NWO style, the red all over.
Oh my God. Shawn's just in a rolling to the outside at the moment. So, like, Hogan's pointing and saying, "It's finished, you're done."
You kind of knew what the build up to the match and how it was sort of involving. You knew Hogan was going over, wasn't he?
Well, it was kind of obvious that it was going to be Hogan that was going to get the win. Um, I, I think Hogan at this stage was undefeated at SummerSlams.
Yeah.
So Shawn's kind of coming back into the ring now. He's at a pushing Hogan. And Hogan's like, you want to look out?
I was sure that moment was going to be another Sweet Chin Music.
I was actually thinking that as well when the match first came out. But they're just staring each other down, and now Shawn's got the hand out. He wants to shake Hogan's hand. And Hogan's like, do I trust this fucker?
Hogan looks exhausted, doesn't he?
He looks wrecked, but like, fuck. Am I the only one here that actually thought there might have been a Shawn versus Hogan too?
Yeah, I suppose it kind of changed then, didn't it? They kind of moved off in very different directions, you know. But
Yeah.
overall thoughts on the match?
I actually thought it was quite a good match. With Shawn, you knew after watching this match a couple of times, you've seen the amount of overselling that Shawn done. It was hard to keep a straight face watching Shawn, but Hogan was just like, Jesus, I must be really doing a number. This guy's just bouncing like a pinball.
Yeah.
But yeah, all in all, it was a good match, I have to say.
Yeah, as I said, it's just an enjoyable, entertaining one, especially when you look back, like it's 16 years ago now at this stage, you know what I mean? And to see the two boys in the ring together and stuff like that, it is kind of iconic when you think about it. But the build up to it was quite hilarious as well. The match ended up being quite hilarious, and I thought just this week would have been SummerSlam week and the biggest party of the year. You know what I mean, of the summer. I thought let's have like a fun match where we can just have a laugh. Nothing too serious. But yeah, pleasure actually going back looking at these matches with you. Just it's a lot of fun at times. Head over to YouTube, Dynamo Podcast Network, for all the episodes of the show. Audio versions of the show are available through all the various audio mediums on Anchor, Podbean, Spotify, Apple iTunes. If you'd like to contact the show, the 4 Podmen on Instagram and on Facebook. And if you want to connect with us on Twitter, let us know your comments down in the video. If you want to connect with us on Twitter, @TPodmen is where you can hit us up. This has been your look back at SummerSlam 2005. Hulk Hogan versus Shawn Michaels. Eddie, a pleasure as always, my man.
Pleasure as always, bro.